ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಸರ್ವಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಓಂ ತತ್ಸಂಯೋರಾವೃಣೀಮಹೇ ಗಾತಂ ಯಜ್ಞಾಯ ಗಾತಂ ಯಜ್ಞಪತಯೇ ದೈವೀ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿರಸ್ತು ನಃ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿರ್ಮಾನುಷೇಭ್ಯಃ ಊರ್ಧ್ವಂ ಜಿಗಾತು ಭೇಷಜಂ ಷಣ್ಮೋ ಅಸ್ತು ದ್ವಿಪದೇ ಷಣ್ ಚತುಷ್ಪದೇ. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's a very popular invocation mantra from Krishna Yajurveda, typically used at the beginning and end of Purusha Sukta. This mantra. It's good. Yastatmiya Varam Varaprada Guru Vairagya Bhagyo Dadau Vedanta Mritasaravam Tamanagha Sri Srinivasad Guru Sri Shailamaya Kaustubhasya Tanayam Shreyo Nidhe Srinidhe Vande Sadhu Katakshakeli Nilayam Sri Krishna Sabdeshikam Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimanyai Shastra Sangrahehi Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukapadmat Vinisrita Malanirmochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Takrad Gitam Vasisnanam Samsara Malanashanam. So we had stopped it here at 7:25. Naham prakashas sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. So hidden by own nature, Supreme is not revealed to everyone. It means somehow is revealed to few. The deluded one, mudaha ayam, they don't know na abhijanati, that the Supreme is unborn and unending. Ajam and Avyayam. A new one today. Yeah. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mantu vedana kaschana. Yes, that Veda, aham Veda, I know all, past, present and future. Samatitani vartamanani cha arjuna. Bhavishyani, cha bhutani, past and I know all of them. So the only, but that is, I know all of them, but Mantu Vedana Kaschana, but nobody knows me. I know past, present and future, but nobody knows me. Vedaham samatitani
Vedaham samatitani
vartamanani charjuna
vartamanani charjuna
bhavishyani cha bhutani
bhavishyani cha bhutani
mantu vedana kaschana.
mamtu vedana kaschana.
When he says Iksha Dvesha Samuttena Dvandva Mohena Bharata Sarva Bhutani Sammoham Sarge Yanti Parantapa. This is because all beings are ignorant because of Ichcha and Dvesha, because of their duality arising from likes and dislikes. Because of that Dvandva Mohena, delusion of the duality, O Arjuna. So all of them are engulfed by it. Sarva Bhutani Sammoham. They're all deluded. All beings are ignorant because of their illusion caused by duality of likes and dislikes. That is the reason they are not able to understand the nature of the Supreme. At a basic level, one's thinking is dualistic. The whole world is dualistic. That's right. It is governed by likes and dislikes. That is very natural. Day, night, everything dual. Due to the opposing emotions, we fail to examine things objectively. That's what he's saying. That is why you're all deluded. Ichcha dvesha samuttena
Ichcha dvesha samuttena
dvandva mohena bharata
dvandva mohena bharata
sarva bhutani sammoham
sarva bhutani sammoham
sarge yanti parantapa.
sarge yanti parantapa.
This is how we are all. Then he says, Yesha tvantagatam papam jananam punyakarmana tve dvandva moha nirmuktaha bhajante mam dridhavrataha. But there are people, they are gone past this tvantagatam papam jananam, people who have went past this papa, then they are into good deeds, punya karmana, and they are freed. They dvandva moha nirmuktaha. They are freed from the delusion caused by duality. And bhajante mam dridhavrataha. They firmly and with intense devotion worship me. People who have, they do good and they have put an end to evil. Vantagatam papam. They are freed from the illusion caused by duality. Yesham tvantagatam papam
येषां त्वन्तगतं पापं
jananam punya karmana
जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां
te dvandva moha nirmuktaha
ते द्वन्द्वमोहनिर्मुक्ताः
bhajante mam dridhavrataha.
भजन्ते मां दृढव्रतः.
Look at the Supreme with a firm and intense devotion. Jara marana mokshaya mamashritya yatanti ye te brahma tadvidu krishnam adhyatman karma chakhilam. This is those who mamashritya, those who take refuge in me, refuge in the Supreme, and strive for freedom from jara marana mokshaya, freedom from old age and death. It means because every birth is associated with old age and death. They're freed from that. They will know about Brahman. Te Brahma Tadviduhu. Everything about that. They know all about it. Adhyatma and Karma. They know about Adhyatma, Karma entirely. They know all of it without any doubt in that. They know about the Brahman, the Adhyatma, and the Karma. To those who take refuge in the Supreme and strive for freedom from old age and death, they will know about Brahman, Adhyatma, and Karma. We'll just leave it as Adhyatma and Karma for now. He explains it later. Jara Marana Mokshaya
जरामरणमोक्षाय
Mamashritya Yatantiye
मामाश्रित्य यतन्ति ये
Te Brahma Tadviduhu Krishnam
ते ब्रह्म तद्विदु कृष्णम्
Adhyatmam Karma Chakhilam.
अध्यात्मं कर्म चाकिलम्.
Sadhi Bhutadi Daivam Mam Sadhi Yagnancha Ye Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichamam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. So those who know Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, and Adhiyagna. Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, and Adhiyagna. Those who know Ye Viduhu, they know all those three. Those are the people. They are even prayana kale pichamo, even at the time of departure, even at the time of the death, they are aware of me. Te viduhu yukta chetasaha. They are the one. They have the steadfast thought with a firm mind. They know me even at the time of death. Those who understand Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, and Adi Yagna, those who have understood the viduhu, ye viduhu, even at the time of death. Because usually at the time of death, you have not come to the stage, but it is said that a lot of time our thoughts are something else. What they call is just the pain, the agony of death, the marana sankata. That's we don't be thinking about anything other than our own pain. It's a very difficult state. But people who have knowledge of Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, and Adhiyagna, even at that time, they are able to think about the Supreme. Because so those who know me know, realize God as Adibhuta, Adidaiva, and Adiyagna, they truly know me. They're controlled in their thoughts. They are not moved away. They are aware of me even at the time of death. Sadhi Bhutadi Daivam Mam,
साधिभूताधिदैवं मां
Sadhi Yagnancha Ye Viduhu,
साधियज्ञं च ये विदुः
Prayana Kale Pichamam,
प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां
Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha.
ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसः.
Like that, he completes this verse, this chapter. So we can do this concluding ending thing. Om Tat Saditi.
ॐ तत्सदिति
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu
श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु
Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre
ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे
Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
Gnana Vijnana Yogo Nama
ज्ञानविज्ञानयोगो नाम
Saptamodhyayaha.
सप्तमोऽध्यायः.
It started with Gnanam Vijnana Sahitam. That is why they named it Gnana Vijnana Yoga. This is the appropriate. This is called Akshara Brahma Yoga or the imperishable Akshara Brahma. So, as they threw in a lot of new words, Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyagna in the previous chapter, Arjuna asked, what are they? Arjuna Uvacha, Kintad Brahma Kimadhyatma, Kinkarma Purushottama, Adibhuchancha Kim Proktam, Adidaivam Kimuchyate. These are all the terms here introduced in the previous verses. So he asked, Kim, what is Brahma? Kim Adhyatma, what is Kim Adhyatma? What is Karma? Of course, Purushottama is Krishna. And what is Adibhutam? What is said to be Adi? And what is Adidaivam? Kim Uchyati. What is said to be of Adidaivam, Adibhutam, Karma, then Adhyatma, all those things. What is Brahma? All of them. So what is Brahman? What is Adhyatma? What is Karma? What is Adibhuta? And who is the Adidaiva? Who is called as Kim Uchyate? Who is that? Arjuna Uvacha,
अर्जुन उवाच
Kintad Brahma Kimadhyatmam,
किं तद्ब्रह्म किमध्यात्मम्
Karma Purushottama,
किं कर्म पुरुषोत्तम
Adibhutancha Kim Proktam,
अधिभूतं च किं प्रोक्तम्
Adhidaivam Kimuchyate.
अधिदैवं किमुच्यते.
He also continues, Adiyagnaha Katam Kotra, Dehesmin Madhusudana, Prayana Kalecha Katam, Neyosi Niyatatmabhi. So he says, uh, who is Adiyagna? Who is Katam Ka Atra? Kaha Atra Adiyagnaha? Who resides in the body? Dehesmin. Who Asmin Dehe? Who is residing? Oh, Madhusudana. Madhusudana is Krishna. Then I was talking about at the time of death. So he says that Prayana Kale cha Katam. How during the time of death, uh, how does he attain Neyosi Niyatatmapi? How does one attain a state of mind, the supreme state of mind at the time of death? So basically, who is the Adiyagna? Who resides in this body? How does a man of self-restraint attain the supreme state of mind at the time of death? Adiyagna katham kotra
अधियज्ञः कथं कोत्र
dehesmin madhusudana
देहेऽस्मिन् मधुसूदन
prayana kale cha katham
प्रयाणकाले च कथं
jneyosi niyatatmabhihi.
ज्ञेयोऽसि नियतात्मभिः.
Niyatatmabhi is the person with the high level of self-control. How such a person like that comes to know? Krishna answers, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Paramam Svabhavodhyatma Uchyate Bhuta Bhavod Bhavakaro Visargaha Karma Sangitaha. So he says Aksharam, Brahman is Aksharam. Brahman is Aksharam is imperishable. This why when we say for alphabets we say Akshara, because once you have written something, it kind of stays permanently in a way. So Aksharam. So Brahman is Aksharam, imperishable. That is the supreme. Brahman is the imperishable supreme being. Then Paramam, because he is a Paramam, Aksharam. Brahma is supreme and imperishable. Paramam and Aksharam. Then Adhyatma is Swabhavaha Adhyatma iti uchyate. Adhyatma uchyate. Adhyatmam uchyate. The Swabhava, one's own nature, Swabhava is Adhyatma. It's a very beautiful definition he has given for Adhyatma. Adhyatma, we always think very high. Actually, Swabhava, our own Swabhava is our Adhyatma. So, one's own essence of one's own unique qualities. Swabhava includes everything, our attitudes, attitudes, our nature, our nurture, what all you are exposed to. And every person in that respect is unique, having different swabhavas. Even if our identity is oneness, it's a supreme, but still each of us have our own swabhava determined by our genes and nurture and whatever we are, attitudes, aptitudes, many different things, swabhava. I think Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says somewhere, people asked how many religions are there? And, of course, some people, knowledgeable people said 5, 6, 7, 8, some even more, 10, 11, 12. So someone who is very knowledgeable told 15 like that. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, no, as many people are, that many religions. So right now it is about 8 billion. That is the swabhava. Each person's swabhava determines everything. So then that is swabhava. Then karma. Karma is typically swabhava. Karma is just action, we say. But in this context, this karma refers to bhuta bhavodbharakaro visargaha karma sangitaha. Karma includes every activity associated with origin, sustenance, and destruction of all entities. That is the whole karma. So karma is all activities, not just, including the creative impulse that brought all creations into existence, keeps it going, and also dissolution. Every aspect together, put together, is karma on the whole. So Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Aksharam Brahma Paramam
Aksharam Brahma Paramam
Svabhavodhyatma Uchyate
Swabhavodhyatyamuchyate
Svabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. Svabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. Svabhavodhyatmam Uchyate.
Swabhavodhyatmamuchyate
Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaro
Bhutabhavodbhavakaro
Visarga Karma Sangitaha.
Visargaha Karma Sanjitaha.
Sangitava is to be understood. We should understand as all activities as karma. And the Brahman is supreme and imperishable. Svabhava, Adhyatma is one's own Svabhava. All the qualities, wholesome, entire characteristic of a person is Svabhava. Then continues, Adhibhutang Ksharo Bhavaha Purushashchadi Daivatam Adi Yagnohame Vatra Dehe Deha Bhrutam Vara. So Adhibhuta Ksharo Bhavaha. Adhibhuta refers to our own body. Kshara instead of akshara, our body is kshara. So it is the perishable body. Perishable body refers to adibhuta. Whereas Brahman is akshara, here adibhuta is kshara. All the perishable aspects of the beings. Adidaiva. Adidaiva is nothing but Purusha. That is the supreme spirit, Purusha. Purusha comes with no gender. Pura iti Purusha. All fulfilling is Purusha. It is neither feminine, not neuter, not male. It comes without any gender. And who is Adi Yagna? I am the Adi Yagna. He is the foremost Adi Yagna. Then I am the one who residing in the body. Dehe Bhratambara. I am the one. Of course, Vara here is best of the souls. He's giving Arjuna Deha Bhratambara. So you are the best of the souls. So Adibhuta refers to the body, which is perishable, which is of all beings. Perishable aspect of all beings is the Adibhuta. When we take ourselves, there is a perishable and imperishable part in us. The perishable part is Adibhuta. The Adi Daiva is the Purusha, the supreme spirit. Indeed, I am the Adi Yagna. I mean, the first is Supreme and Krishna, and I am the one who reside in the body. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha.
Adibhutam ksharo bhavaha.
Purushaschadi daivatam.
Purusaschadhidaivatam.
Adi yagnohamevatra.
Adi yagnohamevatra.
Dehe dehabhritam vara.
Dehe dehabhritam vara.
It's a very great adjective for Arjuna. It is the best of the embodied. So it's giving a very high certificate to Arjuna. Then he talks about the departing time. Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayaha. That's Arjuna's how at the end of departing says, so at the moment of death, antakale mameva, one who is when he departing from the body, one who is thinking of me alone, smaran muktva, when he leaving, before leaving the body, kalevaram, smaran muktva, mameva smaran muktva, thinking of me alone. If he departs like that, he will surely be united with me. Yaprayati samadbhavam, so that person, without any doubt, nastyatra samshayaha, one who departs thinking about me at the moment of death, whoever departs in that way, thinking of me alone, mameva, will surely be united with me. Antakalecha mameva.
Antakalecha mameva.
Smaran muktva kalevaram.
Smaran muktva kalevaram.
Yaprayati samadbhavam.
Yaprayati samadbhavam.
They are in a state of mind, samadbhava, my state of mind. Yati nastyatra samshayaha.
Yati nastyatya samasyaha.
Samshayaha.
Yasti nastyatya samshayaha.
Nasti atra asti atra samshayaha. Nastyatra samshayaha.
Yati nastyatra samsaya.
Yeah. So it is basically asti atra nastyatra. Then he says, Yanyam vapi smaran bhavam tajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Beautiful verse. He says, whatever, Yanyam vapi smaran bhavam, whatever state of mind one who is at the time of tajatyante kalevaram, when departing from the body, whatever state of mind one is at, smaran bhavam, whatever the memory at that time, tantame vaiti kaunteya, that only that person reaches Arjuna, because sada tad bhava bhavitaha, because that person reflects the kind of life one has led. If you're always the way we are preoccupied with, that is what comes up front at the time of death is whatever we are doing. So the state of mind prevailing at the time of death, one's death, is the very state one will attain, because those thoughts are a true reflection of how that person, the kind of life that person has led. Always give this example. Your children, they were telling this store owner, Shetty, right? He owns a store, and he has few sons and taking care of the stores, and one of son taking care. He's in his deathbed. He's at the uh, time of departing his body. So his son runs up to him to see, take care of his dad. He yells at his son, "Why did you leave the store and come? Because our guy we have hired is not trustworthy. I've seen him eating peanuts and chocolates and things like that when we are behind our back. So you have left the store and come here, and what will happen to the store?" So he's thinking. That is, he's always preoccupied. He's running his business. Nothing wrong with that, but that is the state he's. That's what Krishna is saying. So you'll probably come back as another store owner. Yayam vapi smaran bhavam
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam
tyajatyante kalevaram
tyajatyante kalevaram
tantame vaiti kaunteya
tam tameveti kaunteya
sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
sada tadbhava bhavitaha.
So in our religion, we have a lot of Sanatana Dharma. There is a lot of freedom. I think this is the ultimate freedom that we can basically decide where we want to go by being preoccupied with it. Kind of very interesting. Even there we have freedom. So then he said, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhi mame vaishyasya samshayaha. So therefore, Arjuna, Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, mam anusmara, always think about me, yudhyacha, even while you are fighting the battle, think about me. Remember me at all times, even during battle, combat. Fix your mind and intellect on me. Mayarpita manobuddhi, Mayarpita manobuddhi, mame vaishyasya samshayaha. When you do that, undoubtedly you will come to me only. So at all times, it should be at the back of our mind, always connected with the Supreme, and that's where we will reach. Irrespective of what we are doing, that should be in the back of our mind. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. That's what he is telling Arjuna. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu
mamanusmara yudhyacha
mamanusmara yudhyacha
mayarpita mano buddhi
mayerpita mano buddhi
mame vaishyasya samshayaha.
mame vaishyasya samsayaha.
I think somebody asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, how come you are always thinking about the Supreme? He said he's helpless. he cannot move away from that. This actually not doing that will be a lot of exercise for him. So he's naturally always thinking like. Then he says, Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati partanu chintayan. Here he says, this verse also continues, but we can do this. The one who meditates, now he is talking about in a general way, one who meditates on the Supreme with steady focus and discipline, by discipline practice, Abhyasa yoga yuktena, Chetasa Nanya Gamina, without wavering, mind in any way, always looking at the Paramam Purusham Divyam, meditates on the Supreme, steady focus, and becomes one with the Supreme. Yanti Partanu Chintayan. So one who meditates on the Supreme with steady focus, Anya Gamina, chetasa nanyagamina, and discipline becomes one with the Supreme. Arjuna, he says, one becomes like that. So, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena,
Abhyasa-yoga-yukteena
making it as a habit. Chetasa Nanyagamina,
Chetasa-nanyagamina
Paramam Purusham Divyam,
Paramam Purusham Divyam
Yati Partanu Chintayan.
Yati Pardhanu Chintayan.
She says, once he makes something a habit, it's very difficult to break habit. Good or bad habit is hard to break. That's what Ramakrishna was telling. His habit is very habitual to think about God always. So, same way he is telling, right? Making it a habit, then uh, you become one with the Supreme. Then it's kind of a general verse about the Supreme. It's also a lengthier verse, right? This is a, I think this one is a different meter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is in a Jagati meter. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Anoraniyam Manusmaredyah Sarvasya Dataramachintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. It's just talking about the Supreme. This one continues describing, but we can do one by one, doesn't matter. This is Brahman, is ancient, primordial, Kavi, Puranam. He is a poet and Kavi is always considered very wise person in our custom. Like even Ganesh, Kavim, Kavinan, Upamashramastamam, like that Kavi. The primordial, Brahman is the primordial poet, the sovereign ruler, and supporter of all. He is Anoradiyan, is subtler than the subtle and beyond one's imagination. Mahato Mahi, Anoraniyan, Manusmaretyaha is always considered as subtle and also immense. Brahman is radiant like the sun beyond all darkness. Tamasa Parastad, one who meditates on the Brahman. It continues, so we can. This is talking about qualities of Brahman and one who meditates on that. Kavim Puranam Manushasitaram
Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram
Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyah
Anoranyam Cha Nishyam
Manusmaredyah
Manusmaredhyaha
Sarvasya Dataramachintya Rupam
Sarvasya Dhataram Manischintya Rupam
Aditya Varnan Tamasa Parastat.
Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat.
Aditya is like the sun, effulgent like the sun. So this thought continues. Prayanakale manasachalena bhaktya yukto yogabalena chaiva bhruvormadhye pranamaveshya samyak satam param purushamupaiti divyam. So he says at the time of death, prayanakale manasachalena, with sincerity and steadiness, completely fixing the prana. Pranam aveshya bhruvor madhye, fixing it in the middle of the eyebrows, lifting it up to the middle of the eyebrows, with the power of yoga, certainly attains Brahman. Satam param purusha mupayiti devyam. Certainly that person attains the Brahman. So at the time of death, with sincerity and steadiness, bhaktya yukto, yoga balena, with the power of yoga, the mind, um, with a steady mind, manasa achalena, with a steadiness, completely fixing the prana. Bhruvor madhye prana aveshya samyak, before the between the eyebrows, with the power of yoga, certainly attains Brahman. Prayana kale manasa chalena
Prayana Kale Manasa Chalena
bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva
Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chaiva
भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक्
भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक्
सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दिव्यम्.
सतं परं पुरुषमुपैति दैव्यम्.
Then this is also longer longer meter. This is 3 to 11, Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yadyatayo Vitaragaha Yadichanto Brahmacharyan Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe. Here he says the seers, what the seer call the eternal state. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti. What the seers, the neighbor of Veda, speak of Yadaksharam, call it as the eternal state, Aksharam. Then those who have Vishanti Yadyatayo Vitaragaha, people who have left all their passions, how they, uh, how the sages who have gotten rid of the passion, try to attain it. And also, idichanto brahmacharyan charanti, those who like to reach it, state a lead of path of Brahman, brahmacharya's path of Brahman. So basically, the seers call it that eternal state, but those who hope to reach that state lead a life of brahmacharya. Edichanto brahmacharyan charanti. Those who ete ichanto brahmacharyan charanti, sages who rid of passion, vishanti yadyatayo vitaragaha. They, to attain this, I will briefly tell you how one reaches there. So it is all the things people do, all the circus, the seers call it the eternal state. Those who hope to reach it, that reach that state, lead a life of brahmacharya. And sages who are rid of passion, vitaragaha, to attain it. So this is, so I will tell you how to reach that state. When you say brahmacharya here, it doesn't mean you're a celibate, but following the path of Brahman. It refers to leading a life of purity and not letting the mind wander around trivial things. That is the path of Brahman, brahmachari, brahmacharya. When you say brahmachari, we usually refer to celibate, but brahmacharya refers to anyone who is in the path of Brahman. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti
यदक्षरं वेदविदो वदन्ति
Vishanti Yadyatayo Vitaragaha
विशन्ति यद्यतयो वीतरागाः
Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti
यदिच्छन्तो ब्रह्मचर्यं चरन्ति
Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe.
तत्ते पदं सङ्ग्रहेण प्रवक्ष्ये.
I will tell you, I'll teach you in a briefly, Sangrahena. Okay. Then he says, Sarvadvarani Sanyamya Mano Hridinirudhya cha Murnyadayatmanat Pranam Astito Yoga Dharanam. Here, Sarvadvarani, closing all the gates of the body, focusing the mind inward. Mano Hridi Nirudhya cha. And drawing Murna Dayatmana Pranam, drawing the prana to the forehead and being established in the yoga. Astito Yoga Dharana. So shutting off all the gates of the body. Sarvatvarani Sanyamyam is controlling all the gates of the body, focusing the mind inward, Mano Hridi Nirudhyacha, inward, then drawing the prana, Murna Dayatmana Pranam, to the forehead and being established in the yoga. So this verse continues. So Sarvadvarani Sanyamya
सर्वद्वाराणि संयम्य
Mano Hridi Nirudhyacha
मनोहृदि निरुध्य च
Nirudhyacha
निरुध्य
Murnya
च
Dayatmana Pranam.
मूर्धन्याधायात्मनः प्राणम्.
So it is Murdni Murdni is to the head. Adaya, bringing to the head, pranam. Murti adaya atmana. So, murdnyadaya atmana pranam.
Murnyadhyatma pranam
Astito yoga dharanam.
astito yoga dharanam.
So now this gets the name for this chapter. Om ityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mananusmaran yah prayati tyajan deham sayati paramangatim. So in that state of continues that with the then in that then one who departs body invoking the supreme, that is chanting Om after having Manohridi Nirudhyacha Murnadayat Manapranaha then says Om iti ekaksharam. So one who departs the body, yaprayati tyajandehu, saying that Om, the one syllable Brahman, ekaksharam Brahma. Om is considered as the single syllable representation of the Brahman. The one who departs from the body while invoking the supreme uh, chanting Om, this one syllable Brahman, he attains the supreme state. So he was telling how to read that state. Uh, Om ityekaksharam Brahma
Om ityekaksharam Brahma
vyaharan man manusmaran
vyaharan manusmaran
yah prayatityajan deham
yah prayatitya deham
sayati paramangatim.
sayati paramam gatim.
So we have heard that Om is very, very special in our religion. It is the represent the Ekaksharam Brahma. Om iti Brahma, Om iti idam sarvam. That's what the Taittiriya Upanishad also says. And earlier itself Krishna said, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. Om is the greatest of the entire body of the Vedas. Ananyacheta satatam yoma smarate nityashaha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. Then he says, Arjuna, a yogi who is steadfast, ananyachetaha, satatam, always, and constantly contemplates on the Supreme, Yomam, आपको Mam is Supreme, Yomam smarati nityashaha, constantly contemplates on the Supreme. For such a person, tasya aham, me, I am, sulabha partha, I'm easily attainable, nitya, such a steadfast person, nitya yukta. Yogi, for such a person. So the yogi who is steadfast and constantly contemplating the Supreme easily attains the Supreme state. Contemplating on me easily attains me. Of course. So we can say Mom as Krishna as the Supreme. Ananyacheta satatam
Ananyacheta satatam
yomam smarate nityashaha
yomam smarati nityasaha
tasyaham sulabha partha
tasyaham sulabha partha
nityayuktasya yoginaha.
nitya yuktasya yoginaha.
Then he talks about what is the benefit of reaching the Supreme, reaching uh, to Brahman. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayamashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramangataha. So the great souls who have attained the Supreme have reached the state of highest perfection. They are spared from rebirth. Napnavanti Mahat, they would not come back, that kind of people, spared from which is impermanent and sorrowful. Dukkale Mashashvatam. The life, uh, every birth is associated with, every life is associated with impermanence as well as pain. Uh, so, one the great Mam, so great souls who attain the Supreme, Mam Upetya, for them, Punarjanma is not there, which is laid with sorrow and uh, imperfection. Okay. So they are spared from rebirth. It is both impermanent and sorrowful. If everything was permanent and joyful for us, no problem, right? But, so mamupetya punarjanma
मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
dukkalaya ashashvatam
दुःखालयं शाश्वतम्
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
संसिद्धिं परमां गताः.
संसिद्धिं परमां गताः.
Yeah. So they then he talks about the difference between reaching him versus other realms. We have many realms in our afterlife, in our belief. So Abrahma Bhuvanal Lokaha Punaravartinorjuna Vamupetyatu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. So there are several realms, even up to Brahma Loka. Yes, up to Brahma Loka also. All of them are Punaravartino Arjuna. He will be born again. Because as you know, Chaturmukha Brahma himself is not eternal. He has a very long life, but he is born again. So you will also cycle with him if you go to Brahma Loka. But once you reach me, Mam Upetya to one who reaches me, Punarjanmana Vidyate, because I am eternal, there is no rebirth for person who is with me, who has reached me. That's what he tells Kaunteya to Arjuna. So up to the realm, all the realms from the earth up to the Brahmaloka are subject to rebirth. But on reaching the supreme, there is no rebirth. Brahma Bhuvanal Lokaha
अब्रह्मभुवनालोकाः
Punaravartinorjuna
पुनरावर्तिनोऽर्जुन
Mamupetyatu Kaunteya
मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
Punarjanma na vidyate.
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
And this is about the Brahma. He says, Sahasra Yuga Pariyantam Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasranta Te Aho Ratra Vido Janaha. He talks about people who know the uh, day, how long the day of Brahma and how long the night of Brahma, Ahoratri. They are the ones who really know what is Ahoratri. So typically, a day of Brahma is considered as 4.32 billion years because it is Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. Each Yuga cycle is 4.32 million years. 1,000 times that becomes 4.32 billion years, and that is daytime. Same is the night time of Brahma also. So 4.32 billion is daytime, 4.32 billion is night time. Those who know that as the day and night, they are the ones who really know what is day and night, not as knowing 12 hours day, 12 hours night, lot like that. People who know that a day of Brahman spans 1,000 yugas, and the night of Brahman also spans 1,000 yugas. Only those who know this fact truly understand the cosmic meaning of day and night. Only those people know what is Aho, what is Ratri. Sahasra Yuga Pariyantam
सहस्रयुगपर्यन्तम्
Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu
अहर्यद् ब्रह्मणो विदुः
Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam
रात्रिं युगसहस्रान्ताम्
Teho Ratra Vido Janaha.
तेहोरात्रविदो जनाः.
Yeah, we will stop here. This is, and if Hari, is there any comment or any questions? There's a lot of lot of talks about God and reaching God in this. There is not too much of uh, things to discuss really, but just understanding what Krishna is saying uh, about. Hope Hari is there. Anupama has a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, namaste. In this fourth shloka, you mentioned something about Purusha. You said that it is the supreme being. Can you please mention? Can you please share again what is the pada nishpati of that? You said something. I missed that out.
Yeah, say that again. Yeah.
In the fourth shloka of eighth chapter, the word
Fourth sloka. Okay.
yeah,
You can,
Purusha.
I can go to the fourth sloka. Okay. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Adibhutang ksharo bhavaha purushashchadi daivatam adiyagnohamevatra dehabhritam vara. Right? So this is
yeah.
so Adibhuta is talking about Adibhuta is all the aspect of us ksharo bhavaha. It means all the aspect of us which is gone, which is impermanent, like our body. Uh, that is Adibhuta. Adibhuta refers to the body, which is a perishable aspect of us. Of course, in any one of us, there is a perishable and imperishable part. The Brahman residing in us is imperishable. Everything else is perishable. So that is the Adibhuta. Adidaiva is the foremost, is the Purusha. It's the Supreme Spirit. Purusha is the Supreme Spirit. And he himself, Krishna says he himself is the Adi Yagna. Is the foremost Yagna is he himself, Adi Yagna. And Yagno vai Vishnuhu, that's what the Veda says. He is the Adi Yagna. And I am the one who residing in the body. Deha Bhritambara. So what's
Okay.
the
So Purusha here does not mean the gender. You said it means something else, right? So supreme being. Some explanation you gave actually that I missed out.
for the Purusha? Purusha is considered another name for Brahman. Purusha actually. Purusha is literally means one pura iti Purusha. Fulfills everything.
Ah, okay.
See,
Yeah.
like that is why when you look at a city, we call it Pura. Because city has many things compared to a village or a smaller place.
Okay.
Like Singapore is Pura, right? Singapore
Mhm.
has everything like that. So like
Okay.
that. So Pura iti Purusha. That's why the later on it came to be called man as Purusha, husband as Purushan, all those things. But Purusha itself, when we say it refers to the supreme, uh, it comes without any gender, just like the Purusha Suktam, the cosmic person, right?
Okay.
Like that. Purusha
Yeah.
Suktam, Purusha Vedagam Sarvam, Purusha is everything, Yat Bhutam, Yatcha Bhavyam, all those things. That's what it refers to, Purusha.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So,
I mean, just to add a little detail, Sri Krishna, to
mm,
your shopkeeper story,
mm,
the shopkeeper was thinking he was being smart,
mm.
and then he named all the four sons
Yeah.
after name of a god like Rama, Krishna, or somebody.
Uh-huh.
He thought he would surely call one of his sons by their name at the time of the death, and
Uh-huh.
so inadvertently he would be taking the name of the god,
Yeah.
and so he would be free from,
Mm.
he would be attaining the salvation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, as you said, I mean, his state of mind is more with the shop
Yeah.
than with the name. So he didn't end up calling any one of them by their name.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. So he was more worried about the not so good employee he had who was
Yes.
who would chew on some candies or eat some peanuts or cuddle something like that. Yeah. There's also another story they talk about someone wanted this person to really say, Don, they bring some coconut, whatever you call as a fiber, which we call as naru, and then I put a coin. So a coin is called Ana. So he has to say Naru, Ana, Narayana, like that. But that guy says, why, why are you? He puts, he brings that way. Where did you take that coin from? So he's worried about where did you take that? He's not worried about the Naru. He was supposed to say Naru Ana, so it will be Narayana. And but he's more worried about where did you get that coin from? Like that. I think his son had probably gotten a nice gold coin also for his dad before leaving uh, to inspire him. But he was more worried about where did you get it from? And not so much worried about Narayana like that. That is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. There is no rush. That's why I call it. It's like a buffet dinner or buffet lunch. There is no rush. So we write our own how long we want to circle around. So only we have to be ready. Call it as pakwa. We have to be ready. Just like when you make a bonda or something like that, it takes a while for it to rise up, right? First it is getting nicely enjoying the oil and soaking in that, then only it rises up. That's why even that Mrityunjaya mantra, right? Urvarukam iva bandhanan mrityor murchiyava amrita. Like just like a cucumber or something which has become very ripe, which falls on its own accord. Don't have to go and do any operation. So like that, uh, relieve me, it says. So.
See, I was also thinking that in the sixth chapter, you remember that we were saying that we have to use get the vairagya. There was some word, and
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe because see, the mind goes to something which we are most interested in
Mm-hmm.
when we are trying to meditate or when we're trying to bring the mind to the focus or to the bhumajya or something. But so the mind tends to go to the we are things we are most interested in sometimes. But if we have the vairagya, less interest in other things, then it may be easier for the mind to focus on the things that we want to focus on.
Yeah. Good balance of abhyasa and vairagya.
Vairagya, yeah.
Yeah, I like the word. It's abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grishyate.
Mm-hmm.
So even our hand, if you fold like this, we cannot grip anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, little bit of vairagya, let it go. Then you can hold on to something.
Yeah.
But if you are like this, very tight fit like that, nothing can be done.
Yeah.
When you are biting our tight tooth very tight like that, very
Mm-hmm.
difficult to do anything. When we get jittery, right? If you, it happens to us sometime when you are rest, when you are in confusion, we actually haste makes waste, right? We
Yeah.
can become hasty, and haste makes waste. And you remember, Sri Rama, when our shortcuts, Bob Dixon never liked it because shortcuts take too long time, he said.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are
I
trying
know.
to be in haste. Think,
Remember that.
yeah, like that. So I think that applies to here also. In fact, there is when we do the Upakarma annual, the first day we do 1008 times what is called Kamo Karshit Manura Karshit Japa.
Mm-hmm.
That means for all the hasty things we did in our life that year,
Yeah.
It was done by desire, karma, and manu is impatience, haste.
Mm.
So forgive me, I did not do that.
Yeah.
All the hasty things I did was because of karma and manu.
Yeah.
They made me do it. Kamo karshit, manura karshit, namo namaha. It says so. I say goodbye to karma and
Yeah.
haste, manu. So that is there. I think no other question. We can stop here. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha vag bhavet, yato dharmas tata krishna, yata krishna tato jayaha. By the way, Srinama was, thanks for participating. He's my colleague from 1980 to 85, way back in Lexington, Kentucky. Right? I was Sri